Hi friends, it's me Ali, your friendly neighborhood Chanel expert. For today's video, I am inspired by Les Beiges, Je veux être luisante. I want to be shiny. I want a Les Beiges hot, glowy summer look, so that is today's video. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. Everything that I'm wearing today and that I'm using in today's video is listed down below, so go ahead and check that out. I want a JLo glow type of makeup look today, and I think for the eyes it's going to be very simple because the focus is going to be more on le teint, on the complexion. I'm using my Les Beiges Healthy Glow Cream Bronzer in 390, and I'm just going to place a little bit of this in the crease. It isn't to look like, wow, she has bronzer on her eyes. It's just going to look put together later at the end. Sometimes when you add a little bit of your complexion product on your eye, like I'm doing now, like it doesn't look like bronzer, you'll see at the end, it just sort of marries and mixes together everything in a very natural, cohesive look. So just like that, it adds a little bit of definition. So whatever shade you end up getting, just use it like this very lightly. Since we are going for a shiny look, I want my eyelids to be shiny as well. This is one of the liquid shadows in number 22 Rayon. So I'm just going to apply this here on the lid. It's sort of like a light wash of champagne color. Now these dry down very quickly, so one eye at a time, and then using this flat side of, it's like a definition brush, it's a dual-ended one. I'm just going to pat it around. It sort of just blends it together, and it sort of diminishes the intensity of the shimmer. If you just do a swipe and leave it, it'll be way more intense. But this way, this sort of makes it a bit more demure and a bit more natural, quote unquote. So do one eye at a time because this is waterproof and long lasting. So once it dries, it's good for the day, but it also means that it sort of just dries in whatever shape you leave it. So one eye, and make sure it clicks like that, otherwise it'll dry up. And I've had mine now, I think since it came out, so a couple of years, and it's still good. There's less product than before, obviously you can sort of see how much progress I'm making, but just to say, it's lasted a few years. Moving on to liner and mascara, I'm using the number 20 here. This is the waterproof eyeliner collection. The shade is called Espresso. So this is a nice dark brown. I'm just going to tight line, so I'm just placing this here and going in the top waterline like this. It looks crazy, I know, but this helps the lash bed look thicker. So just going like that, and then I will also draw a thin line on the top as well. I'm using a dark brown because it's just a little bit more subtle than black. If you have black, go ahead and use that. But if you have, oh, I made a little oops, that's okay. Just taking the brush that I used before, that I was using to blend out the eyeshadow, and I'm just going over top. Don't add more eyeshadow. Just use the same brush as before and go lightly, just back and forth. It just erases it. Perfect. How would they know? No one's gonna know. Perfect. And then I'm just taking a little bit on top because, yeah, a dark brown is just a little bit more subtle and more natural than black. I put a little bit of espresso on the bottom lashes here just to make my eyes look really nice and doe-eyed. Then for the mascara, I'm going into the mascara base. This looks white, and don't be scared off. It doesn't make your lashes look white. I mean, it does for an instant, but it dries down into a natural shade, and this is like a lash treatment. So if you have very sparse lashes or if you need lash volume and density, this is great. And once you apply the mascara over top, the white disappears completely, so don't be scared off. A lot of people don't know about the mascara base, but it's great. I love this one from Chanel and also from Dior. They both have really great competing mascara bases, but they both basically do the same thing where it's a lash treatment, lash booster. So if you have a lot of issues with lash density, it's best to use it twice a day, in the morning when you do your makeup and then at night before you go to bed. Like you can sleep with it, it's totally fine. And then the mascara is just the classic Volume de Chanel, just a classic black mascara. That's it for the eyes. It's very light, very simple, very cute. Now moving on to the complexion, and lucky me, I have a cold sore. I'm one of those people who's just been lucky in life to get cold sores on and off since childhood, like since like grade 2. So currently I have a situation here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to avoid getting too close with any of my brushes, and then I'm going to clean them directly afterwards to avoid any cross-contamination. And as far as lip products go, I'm going to put them on the back of my hand and then apply them with my fingertip instead of going in directly with a lip product. So if you know, you know. It's like I woke up and I was like, wow, I have a cold sore. Thanks, I hate it. It's not exactly very Chanel to have a cold sore, but sometimes the show must go on. Going forward, I have a few skincare steps I want to do here. I have the Hydra Beauty Essence Mist. This is not new, it's been around for ages. I love this. It's this hydrating, energizing boost of hydration, really. And you just go like this. I waited a few minutes for my mascara to dry. It feels just like energizing, refreshing at the same time in the summer and on hot days when you just want to like just refresh yourself. This is really great. You can put it on top of makeup as well, but I just wanted to, you know, refresh my complexion. And then I'm going into the Hydra Beauty Camellia Water Cream. This is absolutely gorgeous. I have the micro cream sample too, but I prefer the water cream for today's video because the water cream is equal parts hydration and illumination. It brightens at the same time. So I'm just going to put a little bit in, like mix it with my makeup today because why not? Who's going to stop me? Adding just a touch more, a touch more skincare like this with your makeup will just help everything be a little bit more luminous and dewy, and that's the look. So I know it looks a little bit wild for a minute here, but then I'm going into my Les Beiges Sun-Kissed Liquid Highlighter. This is really gorgeous. This is like the JLo Glow in a bottle. So I'm using some of this here. It's a very fluid, runny liquid highlighter, and a little bit goes a long way. I'm just going to dot some of this a little bit everywhere here. And then I'm using the 104 Touch-Up brush. This is a great multi-purpose brush, but today it's going to be my complexion brush here. So I'm just mixing the moisturizer in with the liquid highlighter, and it's going to give a very natural, radiant glow. The water cream is really nice. It's not too heavy. It's, you know, it's very water-based, so it's more hydrating than intense. It's not going to leave you too greasy or oily looking. Obviously, adding the liquid highlighter in here is enhancing this luminous look. But, you know, if you're someone who wants like a super light, your skin but better look, try adding just like a little drop of your moisturizer to your foundation or whatever skincare or skin like complexion routine you have. You'll see. I don't know why I am struggling with words today, but I am. Anyway, just add a little dollop of your moisturizer. You'll see. So this looks very radiant. It's not really covering anything because there's no like actual cover up here yet, but it looks very radiant, looks just healthy, just so healthy, so glowy, and very moisturized at the same time. For a bit of correction, I'm going into my Complexion Touch. I'm using B30 as my concealer. 40 is better as an overall foundation shade, so just take it here and then break it up on the back of your hand. This is a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is the A506. So this is just like a great contoured concealer brush like this. So I'm just applying a little bit here, a little bit there, and then I'm blending. I like everything Water Fresh tint, like the original Water Fresh tint, and then this new one here, the Complexion Touch. This one has more coverage, and I find it's great as a concealer because it just has so much hydration, but it also, like, it's natural, you know, it's not going to make you look like you're wearing a cake face or anything like that. And today's makeup is just about looking somehow naturally, like J-Lo glows, just very naturally. I don't know how it happened, it just did. I used probably a full pump or close to a full pump of the Complexion Touch, and then I did under eye, but I also just sort of focused it on the center because I have a bit of redness in the center of my face. And there we go. Like, I still look very light and luminous, but also like I have skin. This is not a thick face of makeup, so even though I'm sort of leaning into the glow, sometimes people, when it's like really hot out in the summer, they want to mattify, and I get that. But today I'm just like, no. I want to lean into the heat, lean into the glow. I think next up is bronzer. So we're going back into the same bronzer as before, but this time we're going to use it on the cheeks. This is the blush brush here, but I love it for contour, for bronzer, because it's just a great angled brush. And I'm going to place it directly on the cheekbone here because I like when my bronzer acts as my blush. I just find it's very natural. I like mixing my blush and my bronzer. Why not? Who's going to stop me? It's just makeup. I said earlier that I love everything Water Fresh tint, which is true, but I think one item that has been a little bit problematic for me in the Water Fresh family is the blush. I've never really quite made it work for me. I find that it often picks up when I try to apply it, so I don't know. I don't feel like tempting fate today. I'm not going to try it. I have the light peach color. No merci. I'm gonna try something else. I was thinking Water Fresh tint because I want my complexion to look this luisante, like I want my skin to look shiny, but I'm gonna go ahead and use a powder blush. This is Jersey. It's my favorite blush color. It's just, Jersey on its own looks like a blush that met a bronzer and had a baby. So it's just sort of leaning into my beigey, shiny look. Now for the lips, I have my Rouge Coco Baume in 914 Natural Charm. This is a tinted lip balm in sort of a beigey, your lip but better. It's like beigey brown. And then on top, I'm going to use the Rouge Coco Flash in 82 Live or Live. This is one of my favorites, and I haven't used it in a hot minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and use both of them. I have them on the back of my hand, and I'm actually using, this is an eyeshadow brush, but you know what? How would they know? It's a brush. We're just going to apply that. See, on its own, it's just sort of like a nudie brown, and then I'm using this here. This Rouge Coco Flash is shinier and a bit more pink, but not too pink. So in order to complete our look, we have to go into a fragrance, and I have a sample here of the Beige Eau de Parfum from the exclusive collection here, but I want to layer it a little bit because when you add perfume on top of moisturizer, whether it's the same scent as the perfume or literally any moisturizer, it just latches onto the skin a lot more. So I'm using the No. 5 L'Eau hand cream here. This is hand and body, and No. 5 L'Eau smells amazing. I mean, it is No. 5, so it does have the No. 5 scent, but it isn't as strong. You know, when we think of No. 5, for some people it can smell like a bouquet of flowers hitting you over the face, but L'Eau is fresher, it's more citrusy, it's more invigorating, it's more summer in my opinion. And Les Beiges, I think, well, first of all, it's a Les Beiges look. I'm wearing a beige jumpsuit. It's very thematic. And Les Beiges is soft and sweet, on me anyway. There are lots of floral notes in here, but on me, at the end, there's a little bit of like honey and sweetness that comes through. And so when I think of like a Les Beiges color, you know, like a linen beige jumpsuit that I'm wearing, it sort of matches the perfume where it's summery, it's floral, it's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit musky, but I like the sweetness and a little bit of like raw, natural honey. So I just think that this whole look mixes together because the perfumes that I chose, like the hand cream and the perfume, they're both to me very summery scents. And I want perfume, but I don't want it to like, you know, hit you over the head as soon as I walk into the room. It's just very light and fresh and just a little bit sweet. So that is today's look. This is a JLo Glow Shiny Les Beiges makeup look. I used some new, some old, some mixed together. That is my favorite thing to do because there are so many new releases all the time, but it's nice to just get, you know, a couple of new items here and there. Of course, it's always fun, but it's nice to incorporate it into what I already own, and I think this is more fun for you at home as well. You don't have that pressure of like, blah, buy everything new all the time. So go ahead and mix and match everything you have at home. I do want to do one last step here because I want to lean into the summer glow vibe. This is not Chanel, sorry. This is from Sunbum. This is a great sunscreen brand. I have a lot of their body sunscreens, and this is a face mist, and you can in fact put this on top of makeup. It's a sunscreen spray for the face, and I have tested it out. It does work on top of makeup. It has a slight coconut and banana scent. It does have scent to it, so just be aware, and make sure that your eye makeup is bone dry. That's why I did the eyes first. I wanted everything to be super dry, but you can go ahead and spray this over top of a full face of makeup. So yeah, Sunbum face mist, and adding the spray sunscreen. So JLo's makeup artist, Scott Barnes, said this like several years ago in an interview that he uses, I think it was the Neutrogena spray sunscreen, but he uses an actual sunscreen spray on her makeup to get that JLo glow. So yeah, use a spray sunscreen to get that enhanced JLo glow. On that note, I think that is all for today's video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how else you want me to mix and match the Les Beiges makeup collection with some new, some old. Someone had mentioned they want to see a Les Beiges peach makeup look, like more peachy. So if you have any other recommendations or suggestions, leave them down below. Anyway, on that note, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.